Hello everyone, and welcome to this tutorial.
Well, we are not gonna use such kind of a sound, obviously. So we're gonna be making a hardstyle track, and well, hardstyle is kind of a new genre to me as well. But still, I'm making a tutorial on it. That's pretty cool. So today we're gonna be making this track. I'm not gonna make it from scratch. I'm just gonna explain how it's been made because whenever we make from scratch, it actually takes a lot of time. So I just don't want to waste time. That's the main thing. So here's a playthrough of the track. So this is the track, and let's just unroll everything and see how it's being done. So the first thing is the lead, which sounds like this. So we're gonna check. So okay, the most important thing in hardstyle is firstly the kick. Well, the kick is like the most important thing of hardstyle. Obviously, that's because many of the hardstyle tracks are not been like that melodic, so they just have some distorted kicks. So make sure your kick is great. It should be great. It should not be just good. It should be great. Then the next thing is your leads should be wide and distorted. Well, it's you according to your own choice how much distortion you want to add in your tracks. If you want to make it a bit more melodic and sweet, like I don't like much distortion, so it's totally according to you the way you want to make your tracks. The thing is that you have to make your leads pretty much wide and distorted because hardstyle is something about distortion also. So just make sure that you're adding that pinch of distortion in your leads, and yeah, just make them wide. And so let's just see one by one. So you can actually see that there's I mean not see but actually listen the crazy amount of reverb over there because you have to make it like really big. Those sounds should be really big. So let's just have a look on the how it sounds. So let me just go through one by one. So first is So first is Camel Crusher. Actually, my Camel Crusher, I don't know why it doesn't open. It's a 32-bit and I have a 64-bit PC. Maybe that's the problem. So I don't know. Uh, After that, we have Reverb, which is pretty big. So if you can see, I've actually I've taken the reverb mostly towards the this stereo. Like it's not mono. I've not kept it on the center. It's actually on the left hand side. So I want the leads, the reverb to be like really on the sides. So just giving more width and keeping some center part for the some mono leads. That was my main goal to do that. Then we have an imager to widen up the sound. Like you can see, it's not like that crazy, but still it's enough to make it wide. Then we have a Saturn, which is giving saturation. It's basically like making driving up the leads and giving that thick sound in that. Then there's a glue compressor. It's basically just a kind of compressing the whole thing. I've used this filter just to cut out some of the high end, extreme high ends, which are like very hitting towards the ear, which actually hits our ear. So I just want to remove them with this filter. I have used, obviously, I've used this EQ as well, but I add a filter because I don't know, but this works pretty well for me. So that's the thing. And for the sidechain, well, for the sidechain, I have kept it 60% because see, we'll see. Just don't pick any preset. Just make sure how big is this thing in your kick. When you go through the kick, just check the part. This thing, which is like this kick has two parts. One is your. This is the first part of the kick. Like mainly this, and after that is the tonal part. So the part which is actually attacking, just make sure your side chain is at least till that part, and after that you can open it open it back. So that's why I've chosen this preset. And 60% just because I don't want, I've like seen even headhunters that he didn't add much side chain to his leads. So that was just like I was just following his instructions, nothing much special in them. And this is the chords. As you can see, I'm just widening up the sounds a lot. So this is the first thing. So the Saturn is actually just brightening up the leads, the chords basically, and it's saturating plus brightening up the sound. And the imager is just widening up it a bit. It's EQ'd in this way so that we have enough space for our leads and the sub bass. Not the sub bass, but the kick. And actually, the sub bass is with the kick. So, and there's a second lead. So they are just, this is just some minor EQ for both of them. Then the break part, I've added the sub bass because in drop you don't really need that because you have the kick. So this is how it sounds. So if you're on headphones, you can actually listen that this sub is a lot like this really down. So you must be thinking I'm crazy or what? I've added reverb, but that's not the sub. So just to give it some width in the break, I've added this reverb in the bass as well, just to fill that lower end part and even widening it up. That was my main goal. So when you add two sub bass, you actually you can't really feel when it's on the lower notes because that's I mean you cannot really listen them, but you can actually feel them. So the only purpose is to have the feel of the bass, not the, you can't just listen it, but you can actually feel it. That's the main point of adding such a lower bass. Then we have these claps. So adding reverb is like if you kind of make it wide and add a lot of reverb and just make your sounds big, you're actually going towards the right way for making hardstyle. Because this is what I have done in the track, and that then comes the part which is very important. Don't forget that. Even added this noise because obviously it's hardstyle, so just for distortion. So as you can see, it's some multiple color of kicks. That's which is important when you are choosing kicks for hardstyle. It's not like you choose just one kick and you can use it in the whole track. No, it's not like that. It's not progressive house. It's not big room. It's not how it's supposed to be. So in hardstyle, you have to actually select the kick according to your melody. The first note goes with the kick. So like for example, the first note here is C. Yeah, it's C. So I've taken the kick C and it goes till here, then it changes that G sharp, and I've taken G sharp. So you have to take your kicks in this manner, so it's fitting with your melody, or it will sound really odd. Just make sure you're making it pretty much with the melody, because you just can't make anything of your choice. You have to be very much sure that how it sounds, and it shouldn't be odd. That's the main purpose. And in hardstyle, you have to actually make patterns like that. I've made this pattern according to the melody. You can even make your own. So let's just, okay, so I've boosted the highs of the kick, and I've boosted somewhere here. That's just mainly that, and this is the main bus. So let's just check it out. So on first we have a compressor which is actually making the kick more louder, and the camel crusher just to little bit of distortion, and imager. Now that's crazy, but I've actually monoed the everything under 200 hertz, because this hardstyle kick is also having some tonal parts, which is also the sub and the bass. The bassy part also comes from the kick, so I've just removed the, like from 200 hertz, I've just monoed everything up. That was the main thing. and just minor EQs, and this is it. This is how I make hardstyle. I don't make very distorted kind of hardstyle. This is sweet, not exactly, but this is sweet and a little bit melodic. So you can actually listen it once again. And just in case you want to see the mastering, it's pretty much my basic kind of mastering. I've added this for automation clip. There's a glue compressor. There's a ozone 5, which has a equalizer. I boosted this thing. I have like on how much it is, something like 7,000 hertz, some excitation, stereo imaging, and a limiter. And then they have this final limiter with a 9 dB gain. That's pretty much, because without anything it sounds like this. That's why I'm not really push it up. So yeah, this is pretty much it. And if you want the FLP, just comment down below. I'll release this hardstyle template in case you wanted. So thanks for watching. Hope you like this video. Bye.